Hi everyone and welcome back to Hobby World. It's been quite a while since I posted something last, and that's all due to winter and lots of other projects. But I'm back, and this time I'm not going to take you on the usual journey on the Hobby World channel. I'm going to take you on a journey that is very different from all other kind of YouTube videos you usually watch, because this is not going to be perfect, this is not clean, it's not nicely set up, edited, added sound and everything. No, this is just a presentation of a real room in a real world where I am trying to set up an incredible slot car racing environment where I can race with slot cars, which is a real passion of mine. I can 3D print, I can make all kinds of hobby stuff in here, and this room has been neglected all winter, and I'm going to do something about that. So today it's going to get really real on Hobby World. This in front of me is a work in progress. This is the Circuit de Catalunya from Spain, set up in a scale 1 to 43. And then, of course, as I haven't used this room for almost half a year for anything, I have just ended up piling up all kinds of stuff on the table. A couple of hard drives, a graphics card, 3D printers, more 3D printers, lots of bolts and all kinds of stuff. This is some stuff for an arcade machine I'm working on at the moment. So it's absolutely not because I haven't made anything, it's just I haven't been able to keep this room clean, and as it has been standing idle for so long, I just ended up, more or less not trashing it, but it's absolutely not benefited the room that I haven't been racing in here. So a couple of 3D printers more, dry boxes, and my good old Terminator, the one that started off my YouTube channel career, or what you might call it. Gollum, a model I'm still working on from Dungeon Pinups. I ended up printing in full scale, even though it was meant as a 72mm model. And she is using a chair as support, as she is a bit top heavy. No pun intended. And then over here we have a model from Terminator. I'll get back to that at a later time. So this video will primarily be about these up here. I designed the room so all the stuff down here, that is my 3D printers, and then I wanted a large open space where I could play slot car tracks and whatever I wanted. Virtual reality, you need a bit of room to move around, a tennis table, playing some darts and so on. Everything that's placed down here is made so it's possible to move it and set up something else. So you can see the legs down here, they are modular and can be folded in the middle so they can be stored, and the same with the table up here. So I'm working on this together with a friend, and we need to make all of the scenery now. The track actually works. We have made all of the woodwork, but we need to make all of the scenery, and that's actually the fun part. So that's going to be really exciting over the summer. But up here we have 3 slot car tracks at the moment. We have my homemade, home-routed, completely scratch-built track. I'm just going to try to add a bit more light here, so I'll just make a cut. I hope that's a bit better. Up here we have the HK Apocalypse track, inspired by Borderlands. It is completely scratch-built, it's routed in wood, and then I have made the scenery. I am 3D printing most of the buildings for this, including that broken airplane over there, and all of these scrap buildings that are here. The light bridge is from printable scenery, and so are all of these fences and railings. So we moved this track a bit around because I wanted it to stand a bit different in the room. So I have disconnected the computer, and I am going to rewire this track today and add a couple of that in this video. So the computer is located right there. The track is here. I just need to get all of this rewired, set up, and then I'm going to make a curtain for the track so it fits the other ones. Over here on the other side I have my good old Nightland race circuit. This is a very nice track to drive on, and I just finished this piece of scenery. That is actually my own work. I designed this, 3D designed it, and painted it. It is made modular, and I am probably going to make some kind of Patreon where I will share all of my slot car related buildings, people, characters, because I really enjoy working with that, and I think I'm getting pretty skilled at it. I decided to learn how to sculpt people for this project, and I think they turned out really nice. So I've made these 3 drivers, 3 grid girls here, and a couple of hostesses that are meant as being part of the track staff. But this track is incredibly nice to drive at, and I still need to finish the pit section, so I think I'm going to do that as one of my next projects, but who knows, there are so many projects. I also ended up making this free screen display, so during race we will have the current race in the center where the drivers can watch and follow their fuel and so on. On the left side we will display the competition results, so if we are more drivers, the championship results will be there, and on the right screen it will tell which drivers are going to drive next. So this track, probably not going to do a lot about that right now because everything works here, just need to fix up that pit section. If we take a look behind us, I've installed all of these cabinets, and they are actually pretty neat. So I'm just going to turn on the light here and let you see how they look. Not half bad, huh? I really like this. This is for storing all of my slot cars, and the system is from something called Omni Display I got on a Kickstarter, and to be quite honest, it's a terrible design. It's horrible printing these parts, and they didn't fit, and everything was just wrong with them. I personally think it was terrible design, and if I should choose, I would probably redesign the entire stuff myself and make my own cabinets another time. But as I have already done them, it would be absolutely stupid to change everything and just remove them and set up something else. So I also used a lot of printing materials for this, so I'm going to keep them. But the design, the cabinets themselves, not very smartly done, but it looks amazing, so we'll stick with it. Below it I have my homemade drag race strip, and I've been working on this last year, and apparently, or as you can see, it still needs a lot of work, and I've just left all kinds of mess on it. I even broke a couple of these slams, by accident of course, but I am ready to set up the controls for the track and start building all of the scenery that's going to be located on the back side of it. So yeah, that's absolutely also a project that needs to be done. By the wall down here we have a couple of machines for working out, not used as much as I ought to, but we have these cabinets. They are also kind of homemade. I found a couple of videos on YouTube about how to make cabinets for displaying stuff, and it is pretty expensive buying cabinets to display things in, especially if they are going to be of a decent size. You can of course buy some IKEA, but they are very slim in the design, and yeah, it all ends up costing a lot of money. So on YouTube I found a couple of videos about making your own. So these are made out of very cheap metal shelves that can be used for storing stuff in your workshop. And then I've added plexiglass on the sides and in the front, and a back plate I painted black. So I need to install lights in these, and I need to make a third one because there are room for 3 cabinets along this side. The floor in here is a bit uneven, so when I'm going to set this up, I'm going to build a riser that lifts the cabinet a bit. And I also have a small problem up here. As you can see on the roof up there are some miscoloring. Last winter, or yeah, what is it? Yeah, last winter I ended up getting kidney stones and something in the roof broke, and I wasn't able to fix it. because I was actually in a lot of pain, and it took the Danish healthcare system 4 months removing my kidney stones, which seemed like an awfully long time. And during all that time, water ran down here through the roof due to damages on some of the tiles. So I have fixed that now. I'm going to, it has been dried up, and I'm going to fix that before I end up placing these cabinets. Well, as you all can see, there are lots of work to be done in this room. And I'm going to make it simple, because I'm just going to start with this track. I'm going to remove everything that's not meant to be here, so the track is nice and clean and ready for construction, ready for making the landscape and scenery. So we begin here. Whoa, that made a huge difference. Check out this track now. When I've removed all of that stuff that was just cluttering around, this looks much nicer. So now the track is ready for building the landscape and scenery. I have a small change I made to it. I removed the original power supply. This is a bunch of Carrera GO tracks I bought used. I've set up for this track, and I'm pretty sure that the Carrera GO series is made for kids. And it's in scale 1 to 43, and I noticed when driving a bit around on the track that all the cars rarely fell off the track. Even if you held the extra power button down here, the cars just stuck to the track. And I was actually kind of annoyed with that, because I want my cars to be able to fall off the track. We are racing to compete, and the way to do that is just to add an external power supply. So I added this one, and I can change the voltage here, so I get just the right current for what I want. And now the track just runs really well. So I'm just driving real slow here, because I am terrible at multitasking, but the track works really well now. So this is very nice. We have a Mercedes and a Red Bull Formula 1 car here. So it works as it should now. So now I can move on to the next task. First task complete. Clean the circuit de Barcelona track. Next up, I'm going to get this track back and running. We moved this a bit around. Before, all of those screens were located over there. So we were 6 or 7 guys that lifted it up and just turned it around. That worked really well. The track is made modular, so I was kind of afraid that it might be damaged when moving it around without disassembling it. But it seemed like kind of bother disassembling the whole track just to turn it around 90 degrees. So we ended up moving it manually, lifting it up and turning it around. But I disconnected all of the cables, so I'm going to reconnect the cables, clean up on the track and see if it still works. Everything has been reconnected, so let's see if the track still runs. We'll just have to power on the computer down here. That turned on, that's a good sign. And hopefully all the wires has been connected properly, and we got a signal over there on one of the screens. Not the right one though, but I'm still hoping. So let's see what happens when it enters Windows. I'm running some old systems on these, and I'm using the race coordinator software for keeping track of the race. So that's not what I wanted to see, that it boots up over there, but it might fix everything up when it enters Windows. So let's just see what happens. There are 3 screens connected. I bought a cheap graphics card that could cope with this. Yes, that's much better. Well, I just ended up setting up the camera on a stand because I simply can't multitask, and that's just the way it is. So I'm going to test the track now. It actually looks like everything works, so let's just try to start a race and run a couple of laps. I just took a random car out of the cabinet, so I have absolutely no idea if that will work, but let's see. Let's give this a shot. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1, go! Fifth lap.
The car's a bit slow in it. It might be too clean, but the track seems to run just fine. No problems there. So that's actually pretty cool. So I already managed to get both the Circuit de Catalunya track clean and get the HK track ready for racing. And the car is picking up a bit more speed now, but the engine isn't cold anymore. So now it's all about just increasing or getting your lap times better for each lap. And I also designed this so I have to refuel the cars. So you can see it's starting a pit stop now. So this actually seems to work. Well, that was actually a pretty good beginning on everything. I managed to clean up the Circuit de Catalunya and I got this track back and running. So now I think the next step is to fix up those cabinets I showed you in the introduction and make a riser for those so I can display all of my cars and slot car related stuff, trophies and so on a decent way. And then I'm probably going to take a look at the drag race strip because I really want to get those traffic lights working. But that's all for the next video. I would just like to say thank you all for watching. If you would like to follow this journey into getting my slot car room ready again for racing, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comments and feedbacks are always appreciated. I would love to hear what you have to say. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day, everyone.